What is this new product? I'm kind of I see that you brought something here to show.
I did, and the new exciting product that I want to talk with you about is called Magic Salt, and really before even talking too much about Magic Salt itself, I thought maybe I'd spend a little time talking about what's going on in the industry, because the ice control industry is changing a little bit here in Virginia. It's been going on in the Northeast for the past 20 years, and it's finally reaching Virginia, and people have been seeing things out there, and I'm sure they're having some questions about it. I thought maybe I'd talk a little bit about that, and that kind of naturally leads into Magic Salt.
Okay, go for it.
Well, I'm sure, I don't know if you've seen, have you noticed that VDOT these days is applying a liquid on the roadway to control ice, where they used to put sand and salt or just rock salt down? Have you seen that?
Yes, I have seen it.
You might see those little trails.
It looks like a little white, yeah, I've seen that.
Exactly. So that's this whole change to liquid or alternative means of ice control other than the traditional sand that we've seen a lot in parking lots is something that's taking place in our industry. So I want to talk a little bit about the chemistry involved without getting too involved here. Basically, there are three very popular products that are used to control ice. They're all salt-based products, and as you know, they can contribute a negative environmental impact at times, certainly in the Chesapeake watershed. And if not used properly, they can create some problems. They're very corrosive and damaging. So the three that I would like to talk about are sodium chloride, which is basically rock salt, the most commonly used ice control. Then there's calcium chloride and magnesium chloride, which is probably the best in the family.
Magnesium is better than the other first two, yes.
Best in the family. Unfortunately, we can't put magnesium.
But they're all corrosive to a certain degree.
They certainly are.
In fact, let me tell you something. On my car, when I park out on the street, I have to park on the street, my wife's car's in the driveway, and on one side, facing the traffic, the hubcaps are all pitted from the stuff that they would sort of spin out on the back of their trucks. And on the other side of the car, on the passenger side, they're just as shiny and nice.
Right.
And I didn't realize, but that's from that salt.
It certainly is. The salt is extremely corrosive. So the sodium chloride, rock salt, is the most commonly used, and what you're seeing VDOT spray down there is basically liquid rock salt. It is an effective ice control. Problem being, one, it's corrosive. It's corrosive to the pavement.
My car hubcaps.
To your car.
Yes.
It's very corrosive to, and we're going to see more rust on cars from this as well. And it's very corrosive to concrete. And the big thing is, it doesn't really work below 18 degrees. Once we get below 18 degrees, rock salt stops working. So this is why we have these very, very cold periods, snaps with ice, and there's nothing. Calcium chloride is a little bit better than rock salt, generally not used on road areas because of its expense, but it burns bright, it burns hot, and then it goes away, and then you get refreezing. And unfortunately, with calcium chloride, along with the refreezing, you get sort of a slicker, quicker effect where it...
Because it's smoother, it's broke down, yes.
It is, and it also, it just is more slippery so it can actually create a slippery environment. Now, magnesium chloride is definitely the best in the salt family. So people who are using magnesium, 100% magnesium on their walkways, thumbs up to them, because they are doing what many don't.
But you know, when you look at some of the bags, it'll say magnesium chloride 2%. The rest of it is all, but they put the word magnesium and they think, oh, that's what I'm going to buy.
Yes.
But you got to know what you're getting.
Really glad you said that, because absolutely, and you know what the other stuff is? Rock salt, calcium chloride, and rocks sometimes.
That's right.
And it's completely unregulated, and you have no idea really what you're getting. So you really do want to make sure it's 100% magnesium if you're going to use a magnesium product. The problem with magnesium also, even though it's the best and it's the least corrosive, it also is the least stable. So it will burn bright. It lasts longer than calcium chloride, but it burns bright, loses its effectiveness, completely dissipates, has no residual in the paved
Once
surface.
it melts, you have to get it off. That slush. You have to move that slush. Otherwise, it's going to freeze back up again.
Exactly, and then it'll turn to a liquid refreeze, and then the next storm you have to reapply that magnesium. There'll be no residual. Okay, but those are the three basically. But for years, no one could dream about putting magnesium in roadways because it was so expensive. And so it's rock salt.